One of the things you hear me regularly talking about is the need to invest 60 to 90 minutes every day working on your MSP rather than in it. And that means doing activities that win you new clients, encourage them to buy more from you, and encourage them to spend more when they buy. Now, one of the biggest problems with this is when your staff constantly interrupts you with questions that really they could answer for themselves. Do you have this problem? If so, you're going to love my solution. Hey, I'm Paul Green, and don't forget, for all the content, tools, and training to market and grow your MSP, check out MSPMarketingEdge.com. Staff interrupt you all the time, often with stupid questions. Now, I'm not being rude about your staff, because this is a fact, but interruptions kill progress. Why do they do it? Well, partly it's to show that they're working. Partly it's because they're too lazy to look up the answer for themselves, and partly it's because they want your attention, as they are the child, and as their boss, you are the parent. Now, there is a 3-step fix for this, and you have to make a very long-term commitment to all 3 of these steps so that this becomes, if you like, a way of working and not just your current thing. Step 1, find your own space. It's impossible to do your work on the business when you're in the same physical space as your staff who are working in the business on your behalf. So you need a separate office at least, or maybe even an office away from your building. There's nothing wrong with sitting in with your staff sometimes, but not all the time, because it's exhausting and frankly unproductive. Step 2, answer every stupid question with a question of your own. So let's say you're asked, "Boss, we're out of milk, what should we do?" Which of course makes you want to pull out your sword and with one swift chop end their miserable life. But this isn't Game of Thrones, so instead you ask this question back. If I wasn't here, what would you do? And then you repeat that question or variations of it for each of the follow-up stupid questions until they realise that they had the answer inside them all along. And yeah, I know this is the slow way to tackle the problem, because the fastest thing to do is just tell them the answer. That's quicker and easier. But it also reinforces their need for you. And we want your staff to thrive without you. And then step 3 is to make yourself available at fixed times of the day. Because not all staff questions are stupid. Some will be totally valid, especially the technical ones. So make yourself available to your team once, twice, or 3 times a day at fixed times. And ideally, these will be the same times every day to turn them into a positive habit. Have a Teams call where they ask the questions they need answering. You might even ask them to document these questions in advance of the call, which forces preparation, and that can remove time wasting. Now, stupid questions get the same question as number 2 I was just talking about. You know, that whole thing of what would you do if I wasn't available? But valid questions can be explored and answered. And here are some ways to explore problems that will teach your staff to look after themselves. So you could say, for example, what does the standard operating procedure say about this? How do you think you'd find that information? What did the Google machine say about this? What's your gut feel for how this could be fixed? And the best one, what ideas did your colleagues suggest? Or we're just trying to train them here to answer all of their questions themselves, so they only bring to you the 1 or 2 questions a week that genuinely only you can answer.
Paul Green's MSP Marketing Edge.